Dragon Quest is one of the two most popular JRPG series out there. If you're talking about JRPGs, most people will think either Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy. Now, Dragon Quest never really reached the same popularity as Final Fantasy outside of Japan. I myself do prefer Dragon Quest. And it shows in how well Dragon Quest sold. In Japan, the first Dragon Quest became insanely popular, while everywhere else, not so much. I'm honestly not surprised that Dragon Quest 1 didn't sell that well. Even in Japan, when it just came out, it was the first of its kind. Of course, it wasn't the first RPG ever. Ultima and Wizardry were already a thing at the time. But Dragon Quest was the first modern JRPG, something anybody could play. The story, gameplay, art, music, it all helped make Dragon Quest 1 a game worthy of being the beginning of a whole subgenre. Long ago, before our adventure had even begun, there was a hero who saved the world from darkness with the Orb of Light. Once the world was saved, he gave the Orb of Light to the king and disappeared, never to be seen again. The people would experience many years of peace, but one man wasn't happy. That man lived deep within a cave west of Tengel. One day, while exploring deep within that cave, he fell and stumbled upon a sleeping dragon. The dragon awoke. The man, fearing for his life, closed his eyes, waiting for death, but death never came. When he opened his eyes, he was surprised to see the dragon staring at him, not moving. Some time passed, and the man found out that he could order the dragon to do whatever he wanted, almost like a dog. From that point, he renamed himself the Drago Lord. Suddenly, from the earth, a dark castle rose and monsters appeared throughout the land. Several weeks later, Princess Laura got kidnapped and the Orb of Light stolen. The king had lost all hope, until one day, a brave young warrior came to the king, asking for permission to save Princess Laura and return the Orb of Light. Once the hero gained permission, he went on a journey across the land, growing stronger and finding magic items needed to face the Draco Lord. Along the way, our hero finds Lady Laura in a cave guarded by a dragon. The hero fights bravely against the dragon, and after a long hard battle he defeats the beast. And returns the princess to the joy of the people. After adventuring throughout the land, gathering many magical items and the strongest equipment, you face the Drago Lord in a final battle. After seemingly defeating the evil Drago Lord, he transforms into his true form. Once the Drago Lord is defeated, the kingdom of... Okay, so it just says insert name I can't pronounce. So, yeah, where the king offers his kingdom, but the hero declines, and instead decides to start his own kingdom. So, as you might have noticed, most of the story is actually backstory that's not told in the game. Of course, at the time Dragon Quest I came out, it was normal to have most of the story in the manual, but that does mean that most of the story you experience in the game is pretty basic. You can say the same about the characters, most of them are the most basic versions of themselves, and normally that would be a big no-no for me in JRPGs, but Dragon Quest I isn't about the story or characters, it's about the journey. So, you know how in games today they keep spoon feeding you information like,
"Hey, listen!
oh hey player, even though you have played this game for close to 20 hours, do you need me to tell you how to talk to a person again?" And you just kinda stay silent, but in reality every time the game pulls this kind of thing you resent it a little. None of that in Dragon Quest I. You want to find out where you have to go? Figure it out yourself, go talk to people or explore. You will have to actually pay attention to the world and its people. When I first started playing the game, it really helped me get into it. So, to sum it all up, while the story and characters are kinda just there, the exploration is fun enough to make up for it. I would divide Dragon Quest I's gameplay into two categories: combat and exploration. Combat is turn-based like most RPGs, you basically take turns beating the shit out of each other. The biggest difference are that you fight alone and you fight only one monster per battle. So unlike the games that come in the future, Dragon Quest I's battles are simple and lack depth. Dragon Quest I's battles are simple, but there is a positive to it. Because the battles are simple, it also means they're quick, which makes the grinding a lot more bearable, which, trust me, is a really good thing. Like half the time you spend in this game will be grinding either for money or levels. If you aren't high enough level and don't have the right equipment, you're fucked. There's no way around it. This is just because there aren't that many options in combat. Do have different spells like heal and sleep, but unless I needed to heal I never really bothered with anything but regular attacks. It just wasn't worth it to lose a turn attacking for a sleep spell that doesn't work most of the time, or hurt, which does only a bit more damage than my normal attack but costs MP. While I'm being really negative, it's not like I don't realize that all of the negative can be chalked up to Dragon Quest basically creating a way of playing JRPGs on console. And they needed to keep it basic because of those constraints. But this is only one part of the gameplay. We still need to talk about exploration. Without said exploration, the game wouldn't be nearly as fun. When I didn't know where to go and had to ask around the town, or walking across the world map hoping that I find a cave or a new town before having to go back to rest at an inn, was the most fun I had with the game. It also adds that little bit more to do, which prevents the game from becoming boring. So yeah, I'm honestly surprised by how much I ended up enjoying the gameplay. Before starting playing, I expected to be bored by the halfway point, but it kinda felt nice playing a pure RPG, you know? The art for Dragon Quest was done by Akira Toriyama, who we all know was the creator of Dragon Ball. And Dragon Quest wouldn't be the same without Toriyama's art. Compared to what came before, Toriyama's art was goofy, I guess, but that's not bad. Toriyama's style really fitted with the lighthearted adventure Dragon Quest was going for. And you know that something is iconic when I say slime, you think of... No, not that one. God no. I mean this. That little slime is made into anything you can think of and it's recognized all over the world. If the makers of Dragon Quest stopped using Akira Toriyama's art style, it would probably not be Dragon Quest anymore, so yeah. As you all probably know, I'm no musical expert, so I'll keep it short and just say I love Dragon Quest's music. And I don't just mean Dragon Quest 1. When I say that I love Dragon Quest's music, I mean all of Dragon Quest's music. That opening song you hear when you start any Dragon Quest game is the perfect music for starting an adventure. The only negative for me was what they did with the music on the Game Boy Color version. It really didn't sound that great to me, but that's because the Game Boy Color's music is not that great. So yeah, Dragon Quest music, terrific. So, in conclusion, while Dragon Quest 1 definitely shows his age, it still has a certain charm to it. And I would definitely recommend that you play it if you enjoy JRPGs, just to see where everything started.